Hey everyone, welcome to the Dr. Josh Axe Show. I am your host, Dr. Axe, and each and every week on this podcast, we explore the science and principles behind how to grow in body, mind, spirit, and take your health and your life to the next level. On today's show, I'll be talking about how to reverse chronic disease and how to get younger, supporting longevity using cellular regeneration. And oftentimes people go to their doctors today and they get put on a plan, whether it be a conventional doctor or a natural doctor, and they might get 20% better, 50% better and see an improvement, but they don't see complete healing and restoration. Today, I'll be going into how to get to the actual root cause of diseases based on both Western and Eastern medicine and how to heal at the cellular level. Are you excited to hear how to do that, how to heal at a cellular level? Well, I'm excited to share that with you today. Before I dive in though, make sure to subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss an episode. One of the great things about subscribing is now you're going to make sure that you don't miss some of our premier guests coming on, some of the great content coming out. If you don't subscribe, you're going to miss a lot. So thanks so much for subscribing. It's going to help you grow in wisdom, grow in your understanding of how to heal. And today we're going to be talking about how to heal at a cellular level. So first thing I want to share with you is how this information saved my own life. Now, for years, I've talked about how cellular medicine saved the life of my mom from cancer. Now, a couple years ago, it actually, over the past even couple years, it saved my own life via I was diagnosed with a spinal infection. That's where an infection actually got into my disc and my bone and by my spinal cord. I was told that I might never be able to walk again. I was told that I might be permanently disabled. And I was able to get back to now I'm 1 year out from that. I'm about 85% better in the next few months, or by the end of the year, I should be back to 100%. And I learned so much going through that process because I had to learn how to heal myself. I'd been helping patients heal for years. I had to literally help save my own life. And via God gave me so much wisdom and resources and connections to the top researchers and physicians in the entire world. And I was able to regenerate and heal my disc and my bone by my spinal cord. And those are more difficult areas to regenerate and heal. And I had over $500,000 in medical bills from all of this. And so you're going to get today over $500,000 worth of research that you're going to get for free, an entire book's worth on today's episode. And I'm going to share with you some of what I did to heal. But let me just say that it took me, I didn't walk for an entire year. Okay, or I didn't walk for 10 months and then 2 months I was on a walker. So I didn't walk on my own for an entire year. And I learned about the foods that have the greatest healing capacity. I learned about the treatments that help with cellular regeneration and healing. I learned about things like hyperbaric chamber, infrared light therapy, stem cell therapy, prayer, the power of neuroplasticity and healing. And I'm going to share some of that research with you today and how you can heal at a cellular level. So if you're watching this and you're struggling with a chronic health condition, maybe it's autoimmune disease. Here's the reality. You can reverse autoimmune disease. Maybe it's cancer. I believe through the power of prayer and God and natural treatments that your body can experience a breakthrough like my mom experienced a breakthrough and complete healing. I believe that if you are struggling with an issue like chronic pain, you hurt every single day, your body can regenerate and heal new and healthy tissue so you don't have that chronic pain every day. Maybe it's hypothyroidism, maybe it's adrenal fatigue, maybe it's chronic fatigue, maybe it's fibromyalgia. Maybe you have a chronic infection like Lyme or mold or Epstein-Barr, and it just feels crippling still. Well, I'll go through how to regenerate and heal your body today. Here's the first thing you need to know is that we want to focus. One of my big areas of focus here moving forward to help you be as healthy as possible is focusing on longevity. So it's regeneration and longevity of your cells, because if you can focus on healing one of your 35 trillion cells, then your organs can heal and regenerate. You know, when I look at the longest living people, there's a woman who it's documented that she lived to be 117 years old. There's another woman who it's undocumented, but they think she might have lived to be 122. We know that Moses lived to be 120 years old. And so we know that 120 years is possible. Now, here's the thing about Moses and about even that woman that was 117 is that they still had good health. They were still active. They were still moving. It said Moses still had his eyes bright and open, and generally he was healthy. He was still walking. I posted not that long ago on my social media page on Instagram the top longevity foods for extending your lifespan. And 90% of people were really positive, saying, hey, I love this. Thank you so much. I had a few people, though, who said, I don't want to live to be 100 years old. Now, here's the thing. If I were to ask you, well, hey, at 100 years old, it'd be like you were 60 years old. You're still cycling. You're still you're still walking. You're swimming. You're carrying your grandkids. Then would you want to live to be 100 years old? Well, most people then will say, yes, it's a different story. Many of us have seen our relatives and family members suffer and be basically bedridden or have dementia or unable to move the last few years of our life. Of course, nobody wants that, but I'm going to go through today how through the power of cellular regeneration, you can keep your cells younger. Here's a reality. Your body is constantly regenerating. I mean, your blood is new every 4 months. Many of your organs are new every single year. In fact, I'm going to get into how long it takes to regenerate each organ on average. And what I want to do is not only help you add years to your life, which I'm going to do, I also want to help you add life to your years, to where you say this year and every year after, this was the best year of your life. Even when you're in your 90s saying, wow, I am so grateful and happy to be alive because I'm thriving, I am healthy, I am well, I am active. Now, one other thing I want to mention, this is really important to know, there's a great study out of Stanford recently, and they found that for most people, what gets us is that we have one organ that ages faster than your other organs, okay? And it's different for everybody. For you, your kryptonite could be that your heart is aging too fast. Maybe your liver is young. Maybe your skin is young, but your heart is aging faster than it should. For some of you, maybe it's your pancreas. For others, maybe it's your reproductive organs and your hormones. For others, maybe it's your brain and neurological system. So what happens is most of us have a vice or a kryptonite of one area, and it ages faster than others. And that's ultimately what leads to an early death and our demise. But the reality is, if you can find out which organ system you are most susceptible with, the one that's aging faster, you can do things to actually keep that organ system younger, which is one of the things you want to do for extending your lifespan. Now, I'm going to dive into really the 3 primary root causes of what causes cellular, what I'll call cellular aging, where your cells age too quickly, they don't function properly, so you can't heal and regenerate. There are 3 root causes we need to focus on. One is cellular energy. Are your cells, do they have enough energy, and are they producing enough energy? This typically is connected to stress, sleep, sunshine. It's really connected to your soul and spiritual health and certain nutrients like vitamin B12. So cellular energy is critical to healing. In fact, cellular energy is the most important one I'll talk about, because your cellular energy, then it sort of like gives your body's workers, it gives them energy to where then they can go out and clear out toxins. They can then go and rebuild your cells in your body. But cellular energy is key. The second thing is cellular toxicity. If your cells are toxic, then your organs are toxic, then they will age more quickly. And that will cause them to not function properly, and it will keep your cells from actually creating and regenerating the right type of new tissue. Of course, forever chemicals, glyphosate, the toxins, the traumas, even negative toxic thoughts, these all start to create toxicity in our body. And the third root cause is cellular deficiency. Does your body have the right peptides or amino acids? Does it have the right vitamins, nutrients, essential fatty acids? Does it also have its psychological needs? I'm going to dive into the biggest needs you need for cellular health and longevity today to heal your body. So imagine your body like this. Imagine it is a building, okay? And we're trying to build a new healthy building. Well, when it comes to the workers that are building your house, building your new cells, that's cellular energy. And so if you don't have workers, you can't rebuild a home. Imagine a home that has a lot of destruction and it needs remodeling, okay? Certain walls have termite infestation and it's rotted in certain areas, and you need to rebuild your home. That's what it's like right now. If you're sitting here and you have autoimmune disease, you have hypothyroidism, you have cancer, you have some sort of medical condition, you have parts of your cells and body that have been that have a level of destruction. So what we need to do is we need to get a lot of good workers there, okay, that are then going to help do the remodeling project. Imagine toxins are those termites and those things in your body we need to get rid of, and we need to tear down the walls that are damaged, and then we need cellular nutrients that are going to be the building blocks of creating new tissues within your body for those workers to work with. That's sort of what this would look like. Now, I want to share with you how long it takes in general for each system of the body or specific organs to regenerate. According to medical research, your liver is new every 150 to 500 days. Now, what's amazing is your liver can actually regenerate. If somebody has part of their liver removed, it's been shown to be able to regenerate that new tissue in as little as 6 to 8 weeks. But on average, it takes about 365 days, 1 year, for your liver to be completely new. Your skin is new around every 28 days to 30 days. So once a month, your skin is completely new. If you ever get a cut or something like that, typically it takes, if it's a little deeper, about 28 days to 30 days to heal. Now, it's much deeper or more serious. Sometimes it can take a little bit longer, but generally speaking, it's about 1 month, which, by the way, if you ever have a skin injury, to prevent scarring, you want to be very, very focused on putting things on there like manuka honey and silver and aloe and calendula and helichrysum oil and forms of silicone in order for it to heal completely. That first month is the most important if you ever have an injury and you want to prevent scarring. But skin is new every 28 days. Your intestinal lining is new every 3 to 5 days. It's regenerated. Okay. So it is constantly turning over. So you can really transform your digestive health very quickly. Fasting is one of the fastest ways to do that, or consuming a diet that's mostly bone broth, because that's what your intestinal cells are made up of. But you can regenerate a lot of your intestinal lining, which can help heal leaky gut in 3 to 5 days. That quickly, you can start turning that around. Now, the other areas of your intestines may take an entire year to heal, but the lining itself only takes 3 to 5 days. Your bones can repair itself through a process called bone remodeling. And for instance, a minor fracture can heal in 6 to 8 weeks. That's about how long it takes bones to heal, about 6 weeks to 8 weeks. Looking at your other organs, your muscles take typically about 4 weeks to heal under optimal ideal conditions for young people. However, if you're older, it may take closer to 6 to 8 weeks for muscles to heal. And by the way, something can happen though, as you might say, well, I tore a muscle years ago and it hasn't been the same. Well, the problem is it didn't heal properly. And so maybe it is healing in the state it's in. And that's where getting treatments like stem cell can actually be incredibly healing to help bridge that gap of where maybe you're missing tissues in an area. The other one would be the pancreas. The pancreas, I do want to mention, has limited healing capacity compared to other organs. However, it can regenerate in about 6 to 12 weeks. However, significant damage can keep it from fully repairing. And so the pancreas is a little bit more susceptible and is not good at healing as other organs. Now, there's another organ system that's even harder to heal, but the pancreas is slightly harder to heal than other organ systems. However, I do want to say, it can heal, and especially those beta cells of the pancreas. This is how you can reverse type 2 diabetes. I have helped tens of thousands of people reverse type 2 diabetes. And the way we were able to do it was via diet mostly. And so what happened is, and many of them within 4 weeks, but definitely that 6 to 12 weeks, we were able to completely reverse type 2 diabetes and regenerate those receptor sites of insulin and those cells of the pancreas in that amount of time. By the way, that's the only reason you can reverse a condition, is because your organs, tissues, and cells have the capacity to regenerate and become new. Other organs here, the kidneys can typically regenerate, the kidneys and adrenal glands, about every 3 to 6 months. The heart can heal typically about every year. However, the heart, like the pancreas, does have some limited regenerative capacity. And if you damage heart tissue, oftentimes it's replaced with abnormal tissue for it, like a scar. And this can inhibit its normal function. And really the scar formation can begin in about 24 to 48 hours after a heart attack, for instance. And so the heart doesn't necessarily generate as well as something like the liver. The liver regenerates very well. As an example, the intestinal lining, even the skin. However, again, the heart, like the pancreas, has a little bit harder time with regeneration. However, it can regenerate. By the way, this is why it's important. If you ever have a heart attack, if you ever have a major burn on your body, if you ever have a stroke where you've damaged your nerve tissue, you immediately want to do everything you can, even within the first 48 hours, to begin healing, to get oxygen, blood, vitamins, and nutrients to the area. So for instance, if you have a stroke, you want to get in a hyperbaric or a burn, you want to get in a hyperbaric chamber immediately, as soon as possible, as many days as possible, because those first hours and days and weeks after the injury is the most important for regeneration of some of these more difficult to regenerate organs. But again, here's the thing. Much of your heart, those cells, even now, you may say, well, I had a heart attack and I do have scar tissue. Well, the good news is your body can still heal much of the area. Your brain and nerve tissue takes the longest and has the most limited ability to regenerate of all organs. Now, certain areas of the brain, like the hippocampus, can generate new neurons via neurogenesis via your entire life. But the overall regenerative capacity of the brain is less than other tissues. The brain and nerve tissue can take anywhere from 1 year to 12 years to restore. So if you have a certain type of nerve damage, no, it may take time. It could take 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, up to 10 to 12 years to fully regenerate. But if you keep at it and do everything you can to help it heal, oftentimes you can see amazing results over time with healing brain and nerve tissue. And then your thyroid typically takes about 3 to 6 months to be completely new and to regenerate. It has a moderate regenerative capacity. And so it can heal greater than other organs. This is how I've helped so many people reverse hypothyroidism and Hashimoto's thyroiditis. So the thyroid does have a pretty good capacity to heal completely. Now, again, it's essential to remember that based on the circumstance, the level of healing or the level of injury and your demographic, how much your body can heal. But generally speaking, here's the principle to walk away with. Your body is almost completely new outside of your nerve tissue. Your body is almost completely new every single year. You're new. Your organs are new. And so if you do the things I'm going to share with you, you get energy to the area, like blood flow and oxygen, so you get energy to the area. If you eliminate the toxins and if you get the right building blocks in your body, almost every cell, tissue, and organ of your body will regenerate and heal itself. You can get younger. You can, if you did all the right things, your body can get biologically 10, 20 years younger in some instances. I want to share with you that this has worked for me. I recently did a test on glycan age to look at what my actual age is biologically. And it was about 9 to 10 years younger than my actual age. So I'm 42 right now. So my biological age is closer to it was a 32-year-old according to the test. And so you can, via the right things, if you right now are 40 years old, you can do things perfectly for the next year. And maybe your actual age is 45. You could turn it back 10 years. It is amazing how your body can regenerate and heal. So just know if you start doing the things I share with you, you can heal, you can regenerate. So let's start off with number one thing you got to start to do here in order to support cellular regeneration. And that is you need to get healthy macronutrients, carbs, fats, and proteins via amino acids. Now, complex carbohydrates, and so remember this, your cells do like a little bit of carbohydrates like sugar. The best sources of that are going to be vegetables, fruits, beans, and fermented whole grains, like a sourdough ancient grain. That's going to be your best source for steady state glucose, which allows your body to produce ATP, which is what your body produces for cellular energy. In addition, healthy fats like avocados, nuts like almonds and seeds like flax, fatty fish, coconut, and extra virgin olive oil, they make up the outer part of your cells. what's called a lipid bilayer. And so your cells need essential fatty acids in order to heal, especially omega-3s, monounsaturated fats, and some healthy saturated fats you're going to get from things like coconut and a little bit of animal products. And then proteins. You're going to get this from lean organic meat, fermented raw organic dairy, beans, nuts, and even protein powders, bone broth are also going to get you these amino acids you need for cellular energy and repair. Now, the big thing here is you want to focus on real food that's easy to digest. If you're eating grains, your body is going to absorb it much better if it's sprouted or fermented. Okay. So, and then again, you also don't want to overconsume the carbs, because here's what happens. If you consume too many carbohydrates, the excess sugar actually acts like a toxin on your body. So you want to get the right macronutrients in the right doses. And most of us, the biggest thing we're deficient in here are healthy proteins and healthy fats. Most of us are not getting enough of omega-3s. We're severely deficient. Most of us are not getting enough of the monounsaturated from olive oil and some of the polyphenols, those antioxidants that accompany it. Most of us are not getting enough protein via really high quality organic wild protein sources. If you can do that, it's going to help with your cellular energy. The next thing you need for cellular energy are specific nutrients. B vitamins like B2, B6, B12, and folate are critical for mitochondrial function according to the National Institutes of Health. And these are also important for methylation. Have you heard of methylation in the body? You have to have certain B vitamins and nutrients in order to support cellular and mitochondrial function. The B vitamins are the most important, followed by magnesium. Magnesium is a cofactor in over 300 enzymatic reactions in the body, including according to the NIH. And this is also vital for ATP production again. And then certain nutrients are essential for certain cells. For instance, the cells of your heart, like coenzyme Q10, that plays a role in mitochondrial health as well, especially for blood and for your heart. Iron is also a very important nutrient that supports oxygen transport in the blood. Iron supports cellular respiration and energy production. And so those are some of the key nutrients for cellular energy. In addition, there are adaptogenic herbs that support cellular energy, and specifically the cells of the adrenal glands and the thyroid. Some of the best herbs for supporting cellular energy include, and by the way, think about your body like this. Your body has a battery, okay? And your body has one main battery, which is your adrenals. But in addition, all of your cells, we have trillions and trillions of batteries in our body. And if those batteries get low and depleted, your body doesn't have the energy to properly detoxify and to properly run your organs. So that's why your organs get sick. This is one of the biggest and one of the major leading causes of why you or someone you know is ill, is that it doesn't have enough cellular energy. When your body does, this is why, did you know not getting quality sleep is deadly? In fact, one of the greatest risks of mortality in a temporary time is if somebody hasn't slept well for several nights in a row. If you do not sleep well, your risk of mortality, so dying, goes up tremendously. And so you have to, because your cellular energy gets so low, your mitochondrial energy goes so low, so now you don't have the energy to run all your organs. And so one might stop, or something malfunctions like a heart attack. So those sort of things can happen. One of the greatest cures and remedies to support cellular energy are adaptogenic herbs. Ashwagandha is probably my favorite. It's known for its ability to reduce stress and improve energy levels by modulating cortisol levels. That's one of the key hormones you're going to want to pay attention to when it comes to cellular energy. If your cortisol levels are off, your cellular energy is off. That's the big warning sign. Of course, the other big warning sign is you're just tired all the time. You're tired, you're fatigued, you don't have energy. That's linked to cellular energy. And the hormone most connected to that is cortisol, and the organ system is the most adrenal glands. So ashwagandha would be the number one herb for most people as an adaptogen to support adrenals, thyroid health, and cellular energy. After that, I also really like rhodiola rosea. Rhodiola enhances physical performance and energy and adrenal function. Ginseng is another one. Ginseng is probably one of the top 10 most prescribed herbs in all of ancient Asian medicine and Chinese medicine. It's been shown to boost energy, promote mental clarity, support adrenal glands, and reduce fatigue, according to a medical journal. There's other great adaptogens, by the way, especially mushrooms. Reishi and cordyceps would be probably the two most prominent for supporting cellular energy. In addition, other herbals such as schisandra, licorice root, astragalus, eleuthero, just to name a few. There's many, but those adaptogenic herbs have tremendous benefits at supporting cellular energy. So that's the top thing you can take. If you're not feeling good, or you're feeling tired, or you know this is an issue for you, you want to make sure you're taking adaptogenic herbs. Of course, the thing I mentioned just a moment ago, adequate sleep is critical for cellular energy. I charge my phone once a day. You know when it is? When I'm sleeping at night. You know when your body regenerates, repairs, and restores? When you're sleeping at night. It's the time when your body's the most active at creating new cells and new tissues. So if you want good cellular energy, you've got to essentially plug yourself in early, and you want to make sure you're plugged in for a whole 8+ hours. Also, you can see your quality of sleep based on, I've got this ring I wear called an Oura ring, O-U-R-A, and it tracks my sleep. I get a sleep score at night. So last night I had an 86 score, and then I had about a 90 readiness today. That's good. I go for at least a B, but ideally an A every single night in sleep and readiness. And so I literally have something on my phone that tells me what my cellular energy, or what my sleep is, which is that 86 score. And then essentially my readiness score is very similar to my cellular energy. Where am I at there for the day? And it's amazing that we have technology today that can track things like that. But again, adequate sleep is critical for cellular energy and repair and restoration. If you have any condition, one of the greatest things you can do is get 8 to 10 hours of sleep a night. Have your room dark, have it cold. And if you're waking up constantly at 3 a.m. or you're not falling asleep well, get in the habit. Part of that is reducing stress. That cortisol is off. We need to get it back balanced. And so that's a warning sign that you need to start doing things to calm down your nerve system. So start reading a book, take walks in nature, spend more time in prayer, read spiritual growth books, do more things you love to do. Get outside more, because that supports balancing those cortisol and melatonin levels. But quality sleep is essential for cellular energy. The other big one is reducing stress, or how you deal with stress. Listen, we all have stress in our lives, but what stress does is that takes what normally would cause our battery to go down a little bit. It starts depleting it more and more. Whenever I'm driving, I'll oftentimes use my phone's GPS. I've got a few apps. And one of the things that actually really brings my battery down of my phone is if I am using my GPS. It causes it to go down faster. Or if I'm doing a 4K video, if I'm doing a lot of video, that also drains my battery faster on my phone. In a very similar way, when you're emotionally stressed with fear, worry, anger, or you're overworking for something, you're obsessing about something, or you got a deadline and you're feeling that sort of stress in your life, relational stress, that in that very similar way to your phone going down, if you're using your GPS or using 4K video, your battery goes down faster. Okay. So it's okay for that to happen a little bit. Stress is normal, but too much of it will get your battery too low. Certain practices like prayer, meditation, certain forms of exercise, where you're doing maybe things for mobility, flexibility, deep breathing, these can reduce stress and support cellular healing. But what I mentioned earlier, going on walks in nature, prayer, reading your Bible, those things are very, very regenerative of your cellular energy. Social connections are also very good for your cellular energy. Part of what happens hormonally is you can combat fear, which I mentioned. Remember, fear, worry, anxiety, those drive your energy down. Well, social connection helps your body release more serotonin, dopamine, and especially oxytocin. Okay, oxytocin. And when those are happening, when you're experiencing that joy, that emotional true connection with somebody, that happiness, when that's happening, now it's like your body is getting a little boost of energy. It's actually recharging your battery even when you're not sleeping, when you're experiencing positive emotions. And so you want to do as much as you can in community with others to experience those positive emotions. Medical studies have shown it lowers inflammation and actually boosts that energy we're talking about. And then the last thing is this: when it comes to cellular energy, then we're going to get into toxicity and nutrients. Having a purpose in life. Did you know, according to ancient Chinese medicine, they use the word for cell. When I talk about cellular energy or ATP, they would use the term qi. Ayurvedic medicine used the word, they called it life force, okay? But qi, spelled Qi, basically is the energy of your cells combined with your adrenal glands, but it's this thing. But they believe that if you had a strong purpose in life, you had something you were excited about, you knew that God had called you to do something significant in your life, that was energizing. Have you ever met somebody that has a really big purpose in life and you notice, wow, that person's energetic, they're making calls, they're meeting people, they're taking action? And then have you ever met anybody who's just kind of like ho-hum, sit around all day, not motivated, not energized? There's a very, very big difference between those two people, and it has to do with one has a purpose and one doesn't. When you have a purpose, it's actually good for your health. In fact, there was a study that found that when somebody retires from work, and if they don't find something else to fill their life with, some sort of purpose or way to contribute to society, they die early. If you don't have a purpose, it takes years off your life, and it also takes life from your years. If you're not fulfilling a purpose in life, why do you exist? What's your why? And so it's so important that you know what is your purpose. Do you know, according to studies, only 25% of people are clear on what their purpose is in life? Having a purpose actually lengthens your lifespan, adds years to your life, allows you to contribute in a meaningful way, lowers stress, gives you overall better well-being as well. And so again, the bottom line here is having a purpose is essential to cellular function and healing. If you have a purpose, you're better at healing your thyroid. You're better at reversing autoimmune disease. You have a greater chance of beating cancer. My mom, one of the biggest things we did to help her heal cancer was to tap into her purpose in life, her vision. She wanted to be a grandmother. That was one big thing. She knew that was part of her purpose in life, and sowing into her grandkids. And helping other cancer survivors beat cancer, helping other people grow spiritually. These were things that were tied to her purpose. So if you want to boost cellular energy, start to discover and tap into what is your purpose in life. It'll help you heal. The next thing, point number 2, when we're talking about getting to the root of healing at a cellular level, is eliminating cellular toxins. Listen, we are bombarded and exposed to so many chemicals on a regular basis, environmental pollutants, industrial chemicals, heavy metals, food additives, forever chemicals, lifestyle-related toxins from sunscreen. These all damage our cells. They're like termites. They're breaking down tissues within our body. They're breaking down your gut. They're breaking down your liver. They're breaking down your mitochondria in your cell. They're damaging your body. Here are some of the biggest culprits that are poisoning your cells: pesticides, herbicides, air pollutants, and forever chemicals, okay, that are found in things like our cookware, like Teflon pans. These chemicals cause inflammation. They've also been shown to cause oxidative stress to our cells and DNA damage to our cells. And so we want to do everything we can. This is why buying organic food is so beneficial. This is also why using glass instead of plastic. It's why using stainless steel or cast iron instead of, as I mentioned, Teflon pans that have what are called PFAs. That's polyfluoroalkyl substances. These damage the environment, but also your cells in your body. They increase your. This is why they increase your risk of cancer. Cancer is it's a cellular condition where your cells now are not replicating properly, and they're taking over your healthy cells in your immune system. And so you want to get rid of those environmental and household pollutants. Also, of course, industrial chemicals from our cleaning products. I mentioned plastics like bisphenol A is an example of one you want to get out. Heavy metals, lead, mercury, arsenic, cadmium. These are found in our foods, sometimes arsenic, of course, and a lot of foods that come over from China. These inhibit enzymatic reactions. They take the place of receptor sites for minerals. Remember this, iron is a mineral that you need to be healthy. So is magnesium. So is zinc. These are metals. And if you have heavy metals in your body, they will take the place of the receptor sites. So your body can't absorb certain minerals that you need. And also they will then just pollute and cause toxicity throughout your entire body. Food additives, artificial colors, preservatives, artificial sweeteners like aspartame. And I would even throw in there sugar. Added sugar or high fructose corn syrup. I'd also throw in genetically modified organisms. These are things that are hard on your body. They can cause inflammation and damage to our systems. And of course, there's lifestyle related toxins in alcohol, smoking tobacco, drug abuse. But alcohol itself actually is a toxin to our body that can damage our cells. Now, having, a half a glass once a week, you'll probably get away with, or one glass once a week. But if you're drinking every day, it becomes toxic to your liver and to your cells. This is why what happens, you get fatty liver, where your liver now starts producing fat to try and protect itself. And so again, there are so many toxins that we're exposed to on a regular basis that damage our cells, causing oxidative stress, inflammation. And so we want to stay away from those. Now, I want to talk about cellular nutrients. So remember what we have to do. One, we have to get the workers there to remodel your home, your body. That's cellular energy. Then we need to tear down the walls and eliminate the pests. We got to get rid of the termites, and we got to tear down this drywall that has a hole in it that's rotted, this wood. We got to eliminate it. Okay. The last thing we need to do now is rebuild your body. We need to rebuild your cells. We need to rebuild your organs. Here are the essential things you need in order to rebuild healthy cellular tissue. Number one, you need essential fatty acids, starting with omega-3 fatty acids. You want to make sure you're getting wild-caught fish in your diet, or flax, chia, and walnuts on a regular basis. Okay. You want to get those omega-3 fatty acids as much as possible. If you're not getting them, supplement with a good omega-3 supplement. Okay. Whether it's cod liver oil or it's caviar oil or whatever it is, but get those good omega-3s in your diet. In addition, you want to get healthy fats from animal sources that are organic and wild, from grass-fed beef, from chicken, from eggs, like egg yolks, from healthy dairy that's raw and organic, like sheep's milk yogurt or raw cheeses. So you want to get a little bit of those fats. Now, by the way, you can have too much of a good thing, but you do want to get some of those good fats. In addition, you want some monounsaturated fats like that from olive oil, and some other saturated fat from coconut. Okay. Now, listen, you can't have too much saturated fat. You can't have too much animal fat, especially, listen, and I'm only talking about the only good fat from animals is if the animal is if they're completely grass-fed, and if they're completely wild and they are organic, okay? If not, those tissues are going to be imbalanced and they're going to cause inflammation and cellular disease. So again, number one nutrient though you need, and the reason is every cell in your body is made of fat. So fats are essential. So you need some essential fats in your diet. I remember I had a patient, my first patient that I ever had in my life was in my student clinic. A man came in, I still remember his name. His name was Ron. And Ron came in to see me. His hair was thinning, and he said he was having nerve degeneration. His muscles had wasted. And I said, "What happened, Ron?" And he said, "My doctor put me on a no-fat diet and on a statin drug called Lipitor." Well, if you look at the clinical research, you'll realize that Lipitor, these statin drugs, cause nerve degeneration, liver degeneration. They cause your hair to thin. They damage 25% of your brain is made up of cholesterol. And then he was eating no fat. Well, I put him on a diet that was higher in fat, supplemented with this omega-3 fats, coenzyme Q10, completely reversed the condition. He said he felt like he was 15 years younger, got off his medication. He had cellular regeneration because he did the right things for his body. Here's some other things you have to have for cellular regeneration. Vitamin C. Vitamin C acts as an antioxidant for oxidative stress. It also is what makes up the majority of the collagen cells in your body, or it's part of what makes up your skin, hair, nails, bones, ligaments, tendons, gut lining, arterial walls. So you need vitamin C for cellular function, for healing. Vitamin D is crucial. B vitamins, I mentioned these earlier. B6, B12, folate, these are not only critical for cellular energy, they're also critical for the building blocks and building up of your body. Minerals, of course, magnesium and zinc. Zinc is one of the most important minerals for regeneration. In fact, zinc is critical for regenerating your gut lining and tissue, for healing your skin. But almost every organ in your body needs zinc in order to regenerate properly. And magnesium and zinc are probably, magnesium, zinc, and iron are probably 3 of the top 5 minerals we're deficient in that cause our body to not be able to regenerate properly. So if there are 2 minerals you probably need, it's most likely magnesium and zinc. And of course, there are many others. Listen, you need, fats, carbs, and protein. You need every vitamin, you need every mineral to function properly, but the ones I mentioned are the ones that are the most important. By the way, you can see here, if you're watching on YouTube, this therapy chart, this amino acid therapy chart, to where there are certain amino acids that are critical to certain cells of different organs. For instance, the brain has to have L-tyrosine and tryptophan and taurine and GABA and L-histidine in order to function properly. Your liver needs carnitine and arginine and citrulline. Your muscles need leucine, isoleucine, valine, and glutamine. Your connective tissue needs proline, hydroxyproline, glycine, and lysine. So you can see your different organs need different tissues. Your heart needs taurine. Your thyroid needs tyrosine. So different organs need different amino acids. This is also why I do want to mention, you want to make sure you're rounding out your protein consumption. You want to make sure you're getting protein from your meat, real animal tissue, and you also want to make sure you're getting it from organ meat. So you want muscle meat from animals, organ meats from animals, some plant-based protein, and you want to be getting connective tissue protein from bone broth. If you're missing any one of those areas, you're probably going to be deficient in certain amino acids for certain organs. So remember that. Muscle meat, organ meat, bone broth, and getting some good plants in your diet. And that's going to get you your ideal vitamins, minerals, and amino acids there in order to help regenerate your body at a cellular level. Remember this, almost all of your organs are new every single year. Your body is constantly regenerating. And know, if you have autoimmune disease, if you have a viral infection, if you've got major fatigue, hypothyroidism, if you have almost any condition, your body can regenerate and heal. If you do all the right things together and address all these things I just shared with you, your body can heal and regenerate. You can reverse disease. You can get 5, 10, maybe even 20 years younger if you start doing all of these things right now. By the way, if you want some help, I actually have practitioners I've trained that can walk you through and help you identify exactly what you need. You can visit axwellness.com. I've got an advanced training there where you can learn more about cellular regeneration. At the end, have an opportunity to meet with a practitioner I've trained who can then give you some guidance on exactly what you need. Because listen, everybody is a unique individual. I mentioned this earlier based on this Stanford study. Everyone has one organ system that's typically aging faster than other organs. We need to identify that and create a specific plan of the amino acids, the peptides, the essential fatty acids, the vitamins, the nutrients, the antioxidants that you need in order to get that organ younger and regenerate and reverse either the disease you have now or one that's developing that you want to prevent in the future. Again, go to axwellness.com for that. Also, hey, if you enjoyed this podcast and you want to continue to learn more about cellular energy, longevity, reversing disease, and healing, make sure to subscribe here to the channel, like and share. Also, listen, more people need to know this information on cellular regeneration. This is the future of medicine, of getting the root cause. Hey, please share this on Instagram, on Facebook, on, text it to a friend. Let people know about this show. By the way, I want to let you know this show continues to grow. We're skyrocketing every single month, having more and more people join the movement, join the show. And so thanks all of you who've been a part of sharing this and then sharing this advice with others, and all of you that are subscribed. Thanks so much for tuning in here to the Dr. Josh Axe Show. Remember, each and every week, we're diving deep into how you could heal your body, your mind, and your spirit. I'll see you on the next episode.